I'm just gonna stop messing with my hair at this point. I've always had just messy curly hair. What's good, everyone? It is the Soul Gauge here, and welcome back to yet another video. Like I'm getting all dressed up and nice right now because me and my family, we're about to go out and have a good old time over the weekend here. But I'm gonna record this real quick because it's something I've been wanting to talk about. It's not necessarily about the upcoming, like, oh, look at the Until Dawn remake / remaster coming out, even though I really hate saying this sometimes because I know there's actual work put into these, like, you know, with like stuff like, oh, the Demon Souls, Shadow of the Colossus, the Last of Us for PS5. There is actual work going into it, but for the most part, these are mainly just like an upscaling of the graphical fidelity and a bunch of other things, which for some reason, like, why switch out the soundtracks? If we're going by recent track record, it is Sony we're talking about when it comes to keeping their licenses of things, but that's not what we're talking about right now, because I'm actually pretty excited for the Until Dawn PS5 version that's coming out later this year. That's a whole other thing, but we need to talk about the fact that Until Dawn is also getting a live action film. I'll be real with y'all, I love Supermassive Games. I think they're a great developer. Every time they announce something, like, say, another part of their Dark Pictures anthology, they announce something like, let's say, The Quarry, which was like basically a spiritual successor to Until Dawn, or even just a small thing that I found out that they were also a part of, like Hidden Agenda. This game's amazing. Even though Hidden Agenda is extremely short, each playthrough clocking around 2.5 hours, basically like a movie. There are actual, like, multiple different routes that you can take that actually change the story, certain relationships, like every little thing is important in this game, to the point where it's actually pretty difficult to actually get, like, the true ending that you're supposed to get. And the way it ends are all pretty different in their own ways as well. But the only thing that's holding this back is the fact that it's locked behind PlayLink, which is an app you need to get for your phone. I am praying for the one day that someone actually cracks this game so we can play this without the app, because that's gonna get shut down eventually. Until Dawn is still, in my opinion, even after the amazingness that was like the Dark Pictures anthology with Little Hope and House of Ashes, those were really good. I have yet to try The Quarry. Until Dawn will always have a special place in my heart. What's really funny is that my interest kind of sparked back up a bit when not too long ago, my sister, who actually watched people play through Until Dawn, played through that game. And while we were talking, I think it was around the time when I found out, or I think she told me or something about, like, Until Dawn getting a movie, and I'm like, huh? It's not that I'm against video game movie adaptations, it's just the fact that we're getting a potential Until Dawn movie when the game itself is already an interactive movie, again that is 8.5 hours. It's still pretty captivating. It does what it does to tell the story that it wants to tell, while you just make the decisions of how these characters are gonna, like, escape this or other situations that will change and vary throughout the game. And trying to potentially tell all of that in approximately, because I'm gonna be honest, like, I can't see an Until Dawn movie like going beyond like 2 hours max. But even with like a 2.5 hour runtime at the maximum, if they even give it that, I don't see them trying to condense everything that makes Until Dawn great, that will develop the characters, that will develop the relationships, that will develop all the horror stuff, all the plot lines, everything, and condense that into a 2.5 hour film. I just can't see that. And video game adaptations don't necessarily have the best track record, but they've gotten better as of recent years, more specifically in the animation department, but that's besides the point. But live action adaptations have gotten better over time. We got the Last of Us TV show, which from what I've seen of it, is pretty damn good, but it also stands on its own merits, being its own thing at times, while still adapting the story that people will recognize, and people that are going into it be like, oh, okay, now I see why people love the game. It's telling that same story while also being more creative with the themes that they're trying to tell, you know, being its own thing. And that's why I'm kind of hoping for an Until Dawn film, because if I'm gonna be honest, the only way they can actually make an Until Dawn movie work is by turning the entire first film into a slasher flick. Basically what the game was being advertised as when that was first coming out. Because the other half of the game is something that's actually been hinted at, foreshadowed since the very beginning. You really gotta look at like everything that kind of points at it. They wait until the right moment to fully reveal that actual threat, and you're like, oh, Baba Booey. What the f that thing? But I don't see them adapting that until like maybe like if we get a second film. If that. Whichever route they go, I just hope it's good. Like it's a good film that stands on its own, and if it succeeds, we can actually get the other half of the game and being adapted in a different way, and hopefully that's good as well. Because at the end of the day, we don't want anything bad. This is the problem. We don't want bad video game adaptations in movie form or any live action counterpart. I will still not like, oh god, I will not get over that god awful Resident Evil show. I'm not against giving these movies a chance. I just think that for an Until Dawn movie to work, it needs to stand out. It needs to be different. Especially with the fact that, again, Until Dawn, the game, is already an interactive movie. And if you take the interactivity out, what else are you left out of it? Especially with the fact that like Until Dawn has choices that will affect characters' fates and events and slightly alter scenes. Again, removing that aspect is going to make it seem like a typical slasher flick. And you need to do something else to make it stand out, to make it remarkable. Like, not just remind people that this is Until Dawn, do something interesting, do something else, you know, make it your own. That's what I'm hoping for an Until Dawn movie. And like I said, if they do succeed and make a part 2, I hope that at the second film will focus on the other half that really made Until Dawn like, oh, ooh. Like they could do the unseen threat in the second half as the first film, but then like in the second film they focus on the slasher stuff because of the events that happened in the first one, you know, tying that together. I don't have much high hopes for an Until Dawn film, but I do hope it's good, at least. I don't know how long it's going to be until it does come out, because the point of a live action adaptation of a video game is to bring what made that game great, and also trying to be its own thing, trying to that's just my opinion on the matter. What are y'all's thoughts on the Until Dawn movie whenever that will come out? Are y'all excited for it? Are y'all not? If y'all say the latter, I can't blame you. As video game fans, we've been burned way too many times with live action adaptations, but we'll see how it goes. I do hope it's good, but I hope they do what Last of Us did and just stood out while still, you know, character arcs, all that stuff that made us like these characters in the first place. I hope that's what they'll do. But the Until Dawn movie has a lot going against it from the fact that the game is an interactive movie in of itself. But again, these are just my thoughts. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like the video if y'all did. Subscribe if y'all want to see more, and comment down below about what y'all thought. And if any of y'all are new to the channel and y'all want to see more, hey, be sure to subscribe for more. And as always, I hope y'all have a good day, good night, wherever y'all are in the world, because I want to wish everyone the absolute best. Gauge out. I'm about to go to Applebee's with my family, and I'll be back with some more Persona 3 in the next video, or this other gaming video I got in mind. I'll think about it. Y'all take it easy.